So let's talk about our families, Bob.
So I come from Ohio. Can you tell?
Why do you tell people that?
I don't know. That's very easy to say Ohio for me. So I guess, some people believe that.
I know. And then I ask you what city.
What's it? Finley.
Philly.
Yeah. So everybody got, oh my God, your accent from Ohio. But anyway, I came like 8 years ago to United States for good. Because I went to high school in Kansas. There was not too many people.
The Toto land?
That's a beautiful place to be, But I love Fredericksburg better.
So the thing that I think that is wonderful for our community that we're a part of is that we're so different.
Are we?
Totally different. I think our morals and our compass to get to where we want to get is we're parallel each other, but our communities and our worlds are totally different.
To be honest, and I want to say that straight to you, I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy.
I know. Remember the listing we went into and they fired me, but they kept you?
Yeah, because
they didn't want to hear the truth.
Well, see, I just learned that you don't have to be so straight with the truth. You just have to go like a...
Not the girl. To get straight to the main.
No, I just, people don't like... Well, that's my way. People don't like to say, no, I say, what do you think? Do you think that this is a better way? So I feel like I get them more approved of that.
Yeah.
So I guess, I never love to help feeling to anybody. So that's the way I am. And but you are. I love the way you are too.
Well,
I wish I can be that way, but I'm not.
So we are a good blend. And
Yes.
a good blend, we are like cream and coffee.
I'm a cappuccino.
So the cappuccino comes to a good blend for both of our clients, right? Somebody's going to love you. They're going to like me for what they like for us, for a piece of each of us that they love. So
That's part of life,
But your family, who's here with you now?
I'm married for almost, oh my God, she's going to kill me. I would say to you 36 years and 3 together. So we're talking about almost 40 years, even that I look very young. That was and I have 2 beautiful kids. And I think...
How old are your kids?
My daughter's 32 and my son is 28. So now I'm going to do this. You've been doing a great job as a parent. Because, when you're parents, they don't give you like a booklet that you're going to be, this is the way that you're supposed to be and be good. So the only thing you find out if you did a great job or a good job is when your kids are the same way you are, or not the same way you are, but they have the same spiritual way, good people that care about more people, around us and that I think I talked to my wife the other day. I say, I think we did a great job. Cool.
And your son is a musician, right?
Oh yeah, he went to New York to be a music producer. But everybody in my family, they're artists. The only one I don't have anything about that. I love to sing, but I don't think people love me to sing. So my daughter went to, have a degree in fashion designer.
Oh.
And my wife, when she was, we met together in the college, and we have business degree in business administration. But then 5 years later, she said, hey, you know what? I hate this. I just want to be her passion was to be a professional photographer. So she got her degree, and she's been doing for a long time. Now that we moved here, and she wants to help me, always want to help me, but she found out that...
She wants to push you up.
Yeah, but she found out that there's a lot of needs in our market, the Latino community.
Absolutely.
That they don't have like a good, reliable, or let's say not reliable, a bilanguage loan officer, so she's getting her license.
Awesome. So she'll be part of our world.
She will be.
That's exciting. It's exciting. So our world...
What about you?
Been married forever.
So I know that you are a Mimi.
I am a Mimi.
So you don't want people to say granny?
No,
No?
not a granny. We're Mimi and Pop Pop. Or Mimi and Waldo, really, at this point, probably. But yes, same deal. I mean, we've been married for, almost 47 years. Is that crazy?
That's it, right? You feel like a lifetime?
Yeah, that was a long time. We met in high school. We played basketball in Newport News. And my father was Army, Randy's father was Air Force. And so our moms basically raised us during the Vietnam era because our fathers were serving I think my dad went to Vietnam 5 times, Randy's father, same time. So it was very interesting. I think in our world right now, I'm very military oriented too as far as who we serve, because that's our passion. And to watch our moms having to do everything. I totally identify with the military spouse. At this point, she's the financier, she's the house manager, she goes and gets the groceries. Sometimes she works part-time, and she's a mom while the soldier serves. So I think that that's very deep in my heart, how we raised. And then Randy served in the Air Force and just retired, which is so weird. It's like, God, you're here every morning, you know? I'm not used to having him around because he was always in the black world too. So he could have a whole other wife, life, kid, dog, whatever that I wouldn't know about, because he would go away and he'd say, you know, I really can't tell you what I'm doing or where I'm going. So quite interesting career, but I'm glad that he's retired now and he's sitting on some boards. So he's still offering his expertise and his years of service back in a whole nother kind of mentoring, kind of like what we're doing too at this point in our lives. So yeah, it's very interesting. My oldest son just had a baby, so that's his wife had a baby, I guess I should say. But he's a father, and to me, that's like the weirdest thing to see your son be a father. Your son hold the baby, and just, it's amazing. And then my youngest son, Seth, is in Bellingham, Washington. He went out to work with his uncle and has migrated from Seattle area up to Bellingham. And I really miss him. I wish he would come home, but he loves Bellingham.
So he has to stay there?
And he's got an amazing woman out there. So he and Shelby are, yeah, I'm thinking they're not going to come back to the East Coast. I have done everything to bribe.
Don't you believe that God has the perfect plan for you, but sometimes you don't know?
Yeah.
Because I came many years ago to go to high school, like I said before. And when I was getting ready to go to college, and we saw how much was college, my father said, "You're crazy. You have to go back. Come back." So I came back and went to college there. But the thing was, my father has very sick, and I had to take over his business. So I was supposed to be out of college for maybe 6 months. That's what I promised to my mom. But it took me 2 years.
Wow.
So one time she said, "Hey, you have to go back to college and finish." Went back. That's when I met my wife, Evelyn.
So, well meant to be.
Yeah, I guess the guy say, yeah, "Hey, this is the woman." So, you know. So, Missy, we're going to be talking about what we love and what we do.
Okay.
So you are Secret Service.
Secret Service. I am trying not to be a secret agent. Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean.
Yes. So I think my passion right now is listings, and it really kind of evolved over the last couple of years, because having started my career in 2006, all those people finally had enough equity to sell. 15 years later, you know, because they bought at the peak of the last market. So I feel very blessed to have been a listing agent over these crazy buyer times, or it was more of a seller's market. And it was just an amazing mentality. To me, I had never thought I was ever going to have to learn how to do a spreadsheet, because we had 12 offers. So thank goodness for my Dawnine, for my admin. She's amazing. So when we list the house, we do have a certain process, but I know you wanted to talk about, as a buyer's agent, what the process is that you feel works. And you have to have a process, right?
Oh, I think we do. I don't think we have a system, and you have the system for listing a house. I have a system for people that want to buy the house, and I want to be like the process to be very smooth. So I try to explain everything. One of the things that we do, the first thing that we may before we meet somebody, or we're gonna have I love to have face-to-face meetings. But sometimes, you know, we have to do Zoom, which is it's okay. This is a new way. This is a new world, so we have to be kind of. But I send always a questionnaire, so they can fill it up. And
what a great idea!
Well, thank you. You know, let me just go down. Thanks to you, my mentor. But anyway, so one of the things that we are looking for to gather all the information that we can get, so we don't make mistakes later. Sometimes, and let me tell you, because I work with a lot of my Latino community, sometimes they don't do it faster than we want to, so I have to go face to face. But face to face is help me to find out who is the decision maker,
Right.
because sometimes you have to, and that's the way, and you know that I do. I always try not to talk too much and listen to, because I want to find the perfect home for my people, and what are they looking for, what is the keyword, what are they really searching for, and then after that we just go and explain all the process. And after we spoke about all the process, my assistant sent an email just telling what we talk about it. I want everything in writing.
Oh, so you reiterate what you've gone over with.
Yes,
Very good.
yes. So, because it's very important to find out who is the decision maker.
But I think sometimes when you're doing your interview, a lot of times they're not on the same page.
That's what I'm
The
talking about.
husband and the wife, they've got it. One may say, "Oh, I want 3 acres." The other's like, "I'm okay with a townhouse."
Well, it just like a lot of people say, "Oh my God, I want a house for 4 bedrooms, 3 bathroom, and I want land." And I say, "Where do you want to be?"
Right.
"Oh, I want to be in this in the city, in the center of the city." "How much you want to spend?" "Oh, 300,000. That's not doable. So we have to educate our client to say, well, you can get more land, you can get more house, but you have to kind of move a little bit far away.
Right.
So what are you going to sacrifice? How much you want to pay monthly?
Right.
Because the most important is not to buy a house, is that you have a life when you buy a house.
You want to be able to eat and
Oh my God, and enjoy, and So they're not gonna say, "Oh my God, Fabio, what did you do?" No.
So Fabio, when your folks want to buy out in the country, what are the 2 things we have to educate our clients about?
Oh my gosh, yeah, the septic and the well.
And so most often in Stafford County and even in Fredericksburg,
And it's,
anything over an acre
yeah,
has a septic field on it. So there's a couple different septic fields. There's a conventional, and then there's an alternative septic system. So the alternative is if the dirt is really bad, that it's mostly clay, which that's what we have, right? Well, everything is clay. So an alternative septic system is a peat system that is buried, whereas a conventional system is just gravitational. So it drains on the good dirt, right?
yes.
So it's really not a bad thing to have a septic field.
It's not really, and sometimes the word is not a problem too, because you don't have to pay money,
Right.
you don't have to pay a fee or anything like
Right,
that,
right.
for your water. But sometimes, buyers, they don't like to deal with that.
But that's because they're not educated.
It is.
If they want land, they got to
That's-
get
that's-
word about it, because it is what it is
Yeah.
in our area. So how can the sewer people run the lines all the way out to multiple acres of stuff? So
The septic sometimes is a headache. You have to kind of try to see if the house has been for a long time, what the last inspection that they have. Even if they have like a,
maintenance.
yeah,
If they haven't taken care of it, and I know in Stafford County, every 5 years you have to have the septic pumped. And for a while there, they call it distribution boxes. And the newer ones are like a polyplastic thing that if they weren't seated right, if the gravel, because they dig a hole out, then they put the gravel in it, and then they seat the box on top of it. If the earth has shifted or whatever, a lot of times the distribution boxes are blown out on the bottom. So, it's an easy fix. You don't have to pull permits for it anymore. So it's just a matter of having your team, your marshals or your septic people, that are on call, and knowing that you don't have to pull permits is huge to get it fixed before you settle.
that's true. And you have a time limit.
And you have what?
A time limit.
You have a time limit, yes. So maybe sometimes we've had money be put aside in escrow, repair it afterwards if the lender is okay with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think the septic is an amazing opportunity to have land to breathe.
That's part of when I talk to the questionnaire that I do for buyers. You want more land? Probably we're going to get,
Well,
septic and well. So you have to make sure that you're really willing to do that. Or it's not a headache, to be honest. It's really more contingency, I guess, and more, maybe a little bit money from out of your pocket.
right.
Yeah.
So when I write a well and septic, I don't want to be responsible as a buyer agent for the septic inspection.
Sell it.
It is all about the seller being able to do it, because then they can pull in the trade or the company that's taking care of that system for however many years and making sure it's properly done. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
That depends on what you want.
Yes.
If you really want more land, more houses, the thing is, I don't know. I find but people are, I'm a city guy, but I find out a lot of people say, I don't want to see any neighbor around me. So when I wake up, I don't want to see anybody. So I say, well, that's kind of interesting.
They're well and septic people.
Yes, they do. They do.
Absolutely.